man, I feel good to be here. I'm happy to see y'all again. Whew. I see the way y'all looking at me like, whoa, I ain't know the security was performing tonight too. I get it, I'm working on it. I'm losing weight, man. I'm going vegan.
New York just got quieter tonight. As of 8 p.m., all non-essential workers across the state are mandated to stay home.
We can tell you that small businesses are bracing for more economic pain.
Governor Cuomo admits these restrictions are dramatic and they may prove devastating to many businesses.
The governor is now saying 100% of
all non-essential
all non-essential businesses closed. They go to zero.
Would everyone please, to this woman, a woman-owned business, a warrior, a fighter, someone who doesn't give a shit about authority, please, a big round of applause for Rebecca Trent.
Thank you so much. I really feel like at the end of the day, the thing that needs to be said more than anything else is how dare you turn your back on the artists and the gig workers that make this city great. It's the reason why we came here. The cultures exist in New York City in a way that it doesn't anywhere else on this planet. And we need to keep that sacred. We have to make sure that we are taking care of these artists and giving them relief so they can continue to do the work that makes this city run, that is the lifeblood of this city. Watching the arts be slowly dismantled, month by month, is the most heartbreaking thing that I have ever had to witness, and closing my doors is the most heartbreaking thing that I've ever had to do. So how dare you, Governor Cuomo? How dare you turn your back on these artists? They're the reason New York City exists.
The Creek and the Cave in Long Island City closed. It's where I really started my comedy career. It was a Mexican restaurant. Did it serve expired food? Perhaps. Did they know how to melt cheese? Not really. You'd think that would be a prerequisite for a Mexican restaurant, melting cheese. But that's okay. It was about comedy. A lot of great comedians came out of there. Rebecca Trent, the owner, loved comedy. Now, this woman, and I knew her, she had Thanksgivings every year and Christmases for people that did not have the money to fly home to their families. She raised money for several comics that had cancer. She allowed certain comics to almost basically live at the Creek and the Cave that didn't have a place to live. And now her business is closed.
This is the theater. We used to seat about 16. We used to have a big signature wall up here that the comedians signed. We've taken it down so we can put it in storage. But yeah, this is a 60-seater. This is where Donald Glover performed his first hip-hop show as Childish Gambino. We had 120 people in this room then, that day. Yeah, this was the space. This was like church.
People say oh, you don't look chubby. That's because I'm a master of the chubby arts.
I'm on the subway and I have several bags of groceries from Whole Foods, so that's already like a rent check.
Killing it. My retirement plan is all of your PBR cans tonight.
Status that says anything about what you do? What is a status? Oh, God.
So, still.
How many people here were held back in kindergarten?
It's soft, it's lumpy. I have the body definition of a melted candle. There's nothing sexy about this at all.
So there used to be a bar sign here to sort of tell you the space. This is the restaurant. We used to have seating all along here, and then a middle row of tables, and then a row of tables along this bench. And the kitchen's completely gutted. You can kind of take a look this way if you want. But yeah, there's nothing here anymore. We took everything out. And we're trying to find restaurants that want to pick up this stuff. I'm hoping that I get one more round of somebody to like pick through it, and then the rest of it I'm just gonna throw away.
Oh, this was your dream.
Yeah, I've been throwing away an awful lot of my dream the last week or two. Comedy was specifically targeted, which was super unfair. It was lumped in with adult entertainment and karaoke, which is insulting. And, you know, if comedy hadn't been targeted, if I had been able to continue to do the outdoor shows that I was doing, if I had been able to continue to hustle up a side gigs and stuff like that, I probably would have been fine. But when Governor Cuomo put the edict down that stand-up comedy specifically could not be done, a lot of people, you know, we all lost shows. I lost a show. Yeah, I mean, unfair is exactly right. There's precious few paid gigs right now. Comics are doing deliveries for Postmates and shit just to make ends meet. Nannying, you know, walking dogs. And it's hard to watch. I think that ultimately what's gonna happen is we're gonna lose almost all of our independent art spaces. And we're going to get faux independent art spaces that aren't really independent because they're owned by bigger and bigger companies. And it's dangerous because then you start homogenizing, that's when censorship starts. That's when it starts to become problematic for somebody to talk about something. That's when it starts to be problematic for, you know, for people to fully like express themselves, and like suddenly now all the comedy has to be clean. And now we're living in this weird dystopian version of fucking New York City that is literally the antithesis of what it fucking stands for. The little slips of paper, these bags were used to write people's names down for the open mics. For the bucket spots. And it looks like a ton of it has fallen down behind this piano. Oh, there you go. Colin DeGarbo. Somebody named Snacks Mega. Noah Drucker. Rojo Perez, he's one of my favorite comics of all time. Kyle Shore. Savage Avil. This is the last day I'll be here. I am slowly but surely going through and sweeping up the bits and bobs that are on the ground and tidying up the leftover liquor bottles that are still here and breaking down all the tables and chairs and sending them off with someone who's going to recycle them. And I'm hoping that by 4 o'clock today, I'll be turning my keys in. Breaking this place down and ripping out the heart of it was really, really fucking hard.
Far from over.
as soon as in March, I was completely booked in March. Completely. I was booked up. I was making a lot of money in March alone. April, March, I was bloated. Slowly but surely, every show started canceling. Every press conference, I would lose money. Every time Cuomo or de Blasio came on TV, I would lose money. And they on TV every day. So I'm losing money because every time they come on, they shutting more things down.
We walked out of 2019 hopeful for 2020, to be honest. And yeah, the world happened in 2020.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Wuhan, China, where the outbreak began.
The virus came from the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China.
Remember, we were trying to pivot as best we can. You know, we started doing some online shows. We did a couple of things where we did some streaming stuff, and it was great. But you know, it was lonely. It was tough. We were unsure, and it was uncertain. We were so uncertain for March, April, and then May. We kind of said, you know what? Let's get off our asses and do something.
Enter stand-up New York in the park.
I've always known I was non-essential, but it hurt coming from the government.
Comedians performing outside for picnickers.
I feel like every couple should go through a pandemic before they get married, right? It should be required. Yeah, because if you can't handle 3 months, you're not going to be able to handle 4 to 6 years, you know?
Shows run Tuesday through Sunday, weather permitting, all across New York City. Lineups are announced every morning on social media with a suggested ticket price of $20.
Where is this idea for the subway shows, the train shows? Where did that come from?
That came from the brainchild of Donnie Zolden, the owner of the club. He called me and he said to me, he goes, what do you think about doing a show on a train? And I go, like Amtrak? He goes, no, the one. And I go, it's brilliant.
You can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is 72nd Street. I believe I did cocaine in the back hallway over here a couple of years ago. Guys, welcome to Stand Up New York Homeless Edition. We're a wonderful comedy club located on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and we have no home because Cuomo says we can't do this. But guess what? We're going to do it right here for all of you guys on the train.
But I've been married to a really nice man. We're the perfect Indian couple. We do math for fun. We take romantic walks in the park and discuss interest rates.
I'm Jewish, and they asked me to do comedy on the one train. I'm not gonna lie, it sounded like a trap. I fell for it. We're doing fucking comedy on a train. Showtime, motherfucker.
Guys, who are you? Come on, bring on the energy. I'm so sad that the guy who sneezed left, like just in fucking time. Seriously, if you laugh, I'm gonna spray a fucking deodorizer in the air. This is Smith. And I'm not very coordinated, so it looks like I'm fingering this fallopian tube. Is that what this is? You know what this is? I'm probably gonna fall and break an arm, honestly. I just wanna bring us all together. Fuck the MTA.
The train's different. I didn't really realize we were performing on a train until we were outside the train station.
I was on Orange and New Black and all that shit. Yeah, all of that shit is cool. But tonight, we on the fucking one train. I felt like I just hijacked y'all in Pelham 1, 2, 3 or some shit.
My thing was, I just didn't want nobody to think I was performing on the train because I was homeless. So I'm like, oh, people know me in New York. That's not good, man. This is crazy.
I didn't want nobody from Staten Island to get on the train at South Ferry. You know, it's fucking social media era, you know? Fuck around, go viral back on the old island. Like, well, he ain't doing too good. Look at him. This motherfucker performing for dollar bills on the train. Look at him.
There was a comedian performing. First comedian, first train show.
Shit, the last show we did on the train, there was a guy in the back of the train. He took his dick out. I kid you not. And one of the comedians were like, "Sir, are you taking a piss?" And he turned around and said, Now I'm jerking off.
That is like a crazy thing to happen at a comedy show. That's never gonna happen in a comedy venue, a club, arena, theater, never. But what does that do? It makes you stronger. So now when a waiter drops a tray or you stumble over the mic cord at an arena, you still sharp. Cause this dude was over there jerking off.
Ever want to like wave or something?
Highlight of my career.
Before I even jumped into comedy, I told myself, we got to go 100% at this. If I don't go 100% at this, I have no business even being here doing this, right? And then all of a sudden, when this all happened, when everything, the day the NBA shut down, that was the big one, because it was like, whoa, now I can't even put 2% in at this, I thought at the time, right? The initial shock value, because you don't realize the gravity of the situation, that initial shock value, it's like, what do? You're just kind of looking around at first. But, you know, there's always that initial shock, but then you learn, again, talking to my friend, he was like, he said, there are ways you can grow as a comedian even when you're not on that stage or even when you're not at the club doing comedy. And then that's what honestly, if I'm being real with you, I think that's when the real growth started. Just because the club is closed doesn't mean comedy's done. Comedy is everywhere.
We don't need a stage to do comedy, man. You just need a rock, decent speaker, and a crowd, and some good comedians.
Yeah, when I first heard about Max, I was like, yeah, motherfucker, we got some young stallions here on Staten Island. I've been fighting the good fight for years. But I was like, yeah, this is what I like seeing. I want to meet these guys. I want to hang with these guys. I want to help these guys. You know, I just happened to come down to meet them for the first time. And as we were talking about me trying to help them out and I wanted to rent their bar from them while they were fighting with the governor and the liquor authority about this overreach, so they can get a few dollars in and stay afloat. And I would broadcast the news because it's newsworthy. What's happening here? Businesses are getting shut down. It's crazy. So as I was sitting there talking to them about how I can help, the sheriff's barged in and locked the guy up.
Look at this. A lot of cops. What are they, arresting a member of MS-13? No, it's just a guy who owns a bar who had the nerve to open for business in violation of Governor Cuomo's new COVID restrictions.
Whatever reason I was there that night to meet those guys was multiplied by 100 because I saw it was visceral, man. Like, they're really locking this kid up, like, you know? And then, you know, there they went, walking him off, you know? And next thing you know, Max was the center of the media universe.
One restaurant in the borough of Staten Island, Max Public House, has declared itself, quote, an autonomous zone.
Defiance on Staten Island at a rally to protest the indoor dining ban.
Thousands of people rallying around Max Public House Wednesday night.
Chopper 2 flew over what looked like a major block party on Staten Island Wednesday night, but instead it was a large protest.
Well, there's some anger and outrage on Staten Island after a bar that's been defying COVID restrictions was shut down.
And I told the guys, I'm with you 1,000%, whatever I have to do. I rented this store, which is right, but literally, this was going to be the party room in Max. But they were only open for 3 months before the lockdown. They never got to the party room. So I said, well, we're going to have a party now. We're going to have a First Amendment party right here. I said, well, why not do a comedy show? And we'll do the comedy show right here at Max with a live audience. And the live audience are all extras in the show. We're doing exactly what Saturday Night Live is doing. The elites can get away with doing live shows with a live audience, so I said, why not us?
We're in Staten Island, the only thing that's fucking open in this place. We are ready, live from Staten Island. It's Saturday night.
People want to come and be part of a show, then we can be open. And the whole city is shut down at 10 p.m., but on Saturday nights, you show up to 128 Lincoln Avenue, the show is open.
We're not gonna get thrown off Facebook. Fuck Facebook.
I always thought there was like a comedy act in
going furniture shopping with your wife.
There you go.
Yeah, all right, there we go. That's it. She said, honey, I just want you to be happy.
Why we listen to people tell us what to do? You have to make a living. You have to be able to live a life. You can't stay in your fucking house and just fucking
stay with your wife, your husband, your family. Fuck them.
We did it. We did it.
No, but me and you actually really worked well.
It's 1 a.m. Cuomo and de Blasio are sleeping. We're still having a few drinks and socializing in Staten Island. This ain't fucking Footloose.
This is not a joke, and I am not kidding.